Hey guys, welcome back to the Play on Footy YouTube channel. Today we're going to be looking at the round 22. What a massive round we've got. An excited round of games, really. We're getting to the pointy end, well and truly, of the season. A lot of these teams have, I guess, a lot to play for, and some not really so much, but other than pride. So for the first game of Friday night, we're looking at Sydney and Collingwood. Sydney get back Rampy, Amadi, Campbell and Cleary, and for Collingwood they get Joe Richards in for DeGoey. I think this is going to be a bit of a nail biter game. Obviously Sydney got smacked by Port Adelaide in Adelaide. So yeah, I think Sydney will rebound in this game. So I'm going to be tipping Sydney against Collingwood. I just think they're going to be a little bit too strong for them. With Rampy coming back in, Amadi, Campbell and Cleary should definitely free them up a little bit. And yeah, hopefully they can get on top of Collingwood. The next game is Brisbane versus GWS. Brisbane are bringing back in Joyce. And GWS are bringing in Keith and Kelly coming in. So Keith's going to be replacing Briggs. Briggs has, I think, been rested or something like that. But yeah, I think Brisbane at the Gabba are going to be really strong. GWS held off a fast finishing Hawks, but yeah, I think Brisbane are going to get the chocolates against GWS there. And the next big game for the Saturday is North versus West Coast Eagles. Battle for the tail end of the ladder. But yeah, look, North Melbourne are getting back Shields and Bergman, and West Coast Eagles are bringing back in Gaff, which, yeah, he did announce his retirement yesterday. But yeah, look, I think, you know, it's in Tasmania, Blundstone Arena. I actually think, look, I'm actually going to go against the grain. A lot's pointing towards a North Melbourne win, but I'm going to go West Coast Eagles. One reason in particular, I think Schofield's messaging has been improving. I think this is a chance for them to actually win on the road, and I think against North Melbourne, I think they want to get back at them for last time they versed each other and they got, you know, done by North at home. So I think this is more about pride for West Coast Eagles, and so I think I'm going to be tipping against the grain here and go West Coast Eagles to win against North. The next game is Freo versus Geelong. This one's at Optus Stadium. Freo bringing back in Johnson, Fife, Warner and Voss, and for Geelong they're bringing back in Duncan and Rowan. But yeah, I think in this game, it's going to be really interesting to see where they can sort of get the rebound 50s going forward. I think really Geelong are going to be the ones that are going to get the chocolates here against Fremantle, namely because I think Tom Stewart plays a pivotal role in what they do. And I think, you know, with Stanley coming back in, I think that's really helped and freed up Geelong's blitzer. So I think with him on the wing, it'll be a little bit more damaging going forward. So yeah, I think Geelong win against Fremantle. The next game is Bombers versus Gold Coast Suns. Here, this one, I don't really know much about what Bombers are trying to do with the rest of their season, because as it stands, they are sort of, what are they now? They're sort of down the end of the bottom 8 or outside the 8 now. And Gold Coast, again, on the road. This one's at Marvel Stadium, so I don't really know what, you know, Gold Coast are going to be like, other than the fact that they haven't won away at all. So I think with this one, it's pretty easy for me to go Bombers, just on the basis that Gold Coast really have nothing to play for the rest of the season. They're well and truly out of the finals. And so Bombers are bringing back in Hobbs, so just one change there. And Gold Coast are bringing back in Walter, Davies, Rogers and Buderick. And yeah, I think Bombers will win against Gold Coast on the road, so that's pretty straightforward. Melbourne versus Port Adelaide. This one here is at the MCG, so Melbourne bring back in Tomlinson, Salem and Hall, and then Port Adelaide are bringing back in Marshall up forward. I think with this one, as big as the win was for Port Adelaide last week against Swans, I think Melbourne will just edge them out. Port Adelaide traditionally don't play so well at the MCG. That's the main reason why I'm tipping against them. And second of all, I think with Salem coming back in and Tomlinson down back as well, that will give them plenty of run going forward and try and mitigate that that forward line of Port Adelaide's, which is really Riola, who tries to shut it down, and JHF, who's been really presenting well up forward. So I think Melbourne will just edge out Port Adelaide in this one. Carlton versus Hawks. This one's an interesting one. We've got Cowan, Binns, Williams and Carroll, as well as Young coming back in for Carlton. And for Hawks, you've got Morrison, Magnus, Mackenzie and Sarong. So yeah, look, really unlucky for Hawks not to get the win last week against a really informed side, which was GWS. But I think in this game against Carlton, even though it's at, obviously Melbourne's pretty even kilter for both teams, I think Hawks will actually get up on Carlton. I wasn't really too impressed with the game last week against Carlton. Carlton just left it way too late. 5 goals down at 3/4 time. And yeah, they looked really flat, no energy and anything like that. So I think Hawks will edge them out in this one. I think they've got a point to prove, Hawks, and yeah, they've still got a chance. They've still got a chance this season if they keep winning these games towards the end of the season. I think they've still got a chance. So I'm going to be tipping the Hawks for that game. Richmond versus Saints. This one's pretty straightforward. Saints will win. I don't think Richmond will put up too much of a fight. They've got their number 1 pick, locked away well and truly now. So I think, yeah, for the Saints to win, that would be basically a no-brainer. It's at Marvel anyway, so Richmond traditionally don't like playing at Marvel. But yeah, Ryan's coming back in, Boer, Cumberland, Blight, Smith, Coulthard and Dow for Richmond. And for Saints, you've got Burns, Clark, Patton and Campbell coming in. Campbell for the ruck, just help Marshall, probably just swing Marshall forward as well, just to trial that out, which has been going really well this season, to be honest. So yeah, I think Saints will just be too strong for Richmond, and Richmond really haven't had much of a season. But empathy to them, because obviously I'm like Eagles supporter, so I definitely know all about that. And the last game of the round is Adelaide versus Western Bulldogs. This one's at Adelaide Oval. Rankin, Cook, Burgess and Borlase's coming in for Adelaide, and Western Bulldogs, Baker, Fraser, Sanders. So a couple of the younger guys coming there for Western Bulldogs. I think Adelaide's experience and the fact that it's a home game, they will just edge out Western Bulldogs here. So I'm going to be tipping the Adelaide Crows to have a win for that game. But yeah, what do you guys reckon? Comment down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.